After turning his exaggerated eating videos into a viral spectacle, Bivo quickly racked up 1.4 million followers on TikTok. But just as fast as he rose to internet fame, viewers started questioning the authenticity behind his persona. My name's Ryan, and we're going to talk about how Bivo's online career spiraled and why his life hasn't been the same ever since. Brandon Beavis, better known as Bivo, was at his peak known as a British TikToker from England, who first launched his social media career with painfully boring IRL shorts of his boxing and singing hobbies.
Joe in the hair. Literally. Teeth whitener on. Anything I post or say. Come on.
Barely managing to hit a consistent 50,000 views per video. Calling himself Beavo, as in beaver, because of his ridiculously huge blinding white teeth, he leaned into the joke before anyone else could, knowing exactly what people were going to say.
Listen, they're my real teeth. I might have a filter on, but these are my teeth. It's my jaw that's back, not my teeth.
In fact, it was his open acknowledgement of his teeth that created clear outliers in his viewership, videos pulling in hundreds of thousands of views, essentially turning the joke about his teeth into his biggest asset. Looking a lot like Sid from Ice Age. Bivo's teeth were what made his persona more memorable, but he didn't rely on them forever, as he eventually branded out into eating videos in late 2023, which began earning him consistently higher views than usual. One of his earliest eating videos featured him having a typical meal,
I don't know, let's have another taste, I can't really tell.
Chewing and gulping like a normal person, and becoming memorable mainly for his intro.
Dinner, you know the rules, this we're back.
Dinner. Roast dinner. You know the rules. Dinner! Listen, we're the harvester, you know the rules.
No one really knew what the rules were, since he never clearly stated them in his first eating videos, but that mystery is exactly what made the content interesting. However, the habit of eating normally slowly changed over time, as in one video, he apparently gulped down a whole potato after just one chew.
Let's get right into that, look at that, bang. Very seasoned, very nice, 7 out of 10.
Bivo, the one-bite potato, was astonishing. That one-gulp potato was diabolical, mate. Suddenly, his succeeding uploads leaned heavily into the idea that he struggled to chew, and therefore struggled to gulp, to the point that fan compilations titled "We Nearly Lost Bivo" started surfacing.
That was a good pizza. Fucking hell.
And even memes.
Dinner! You know the rules, big up the hangover.
Then, people connected this difficulty to Bivo having fake teeth.
For fuck's sake.
And with that story in place, he continued exaggerating the minimal chewing and dramatic gulping. As he leaned into his uniqueness, his followers exploded to 1 million in early 2024, from 75,000 in late 2023, and he expanded to Cameo, where he began monetizing his popularity. He also took advantage of his popularity to launch a fundraiser aimed at permanently fixing his teeth. However, the early cracks in his persona would soon start to show. At the same time he was gaining traction for his eating videos, Bivo put himself in two major storylines, both of which would eventually come back to haunt him. In September 2023, Aggie the Gift, a London-based TikToker recognized for his street interviews, uploaded a TikTok video apparently interviewing a homeless Bivo in central London.
Recently become homeless, currently in central. I sort of come back, live with my mum. She's come out of a divorce and she's with her new partner, and she's decided to choose a new partner over me, so that's why I'm homeless now.
Praise for Bivo. Big up to Aggie for being a real man. However, 3 months later, Bivo admitted the truth to Tyrone and Ed Matthews.
I never was homeless.
I thought you was really homeless.
No.
Oh my days, bro. I actually thought you was homeless.
This came as a bombshell for anyone who genuinely believed in the homeless arc, and even more so, a slap in the face, especially when he explained why he lied in the first place.
But you got to make a bang. So I fell off and I had to come back with a bang. So I had to just bash these stories.
Making it seem like he truly did not have a place to stay, bordered on toying with his fans' emotions, as many genuinely worried about him at the time. Then, around the same period, he also claimed he had dislocated his shoulder.
Bad luck comes in threes. Beavo's in the hospital. Yeah, I've not released this. I've not said nothing about my shoulder, but in the space of 5 years, I've done it about 20 times, and this is the first time I've actually publicly put it on social media.
Even launching another fundraiser to help with the supposed shoulder injury while his fundraiser for his teeth was still active. But just like the homeless storyline, the dislocated shoulder came with the discovery that, by this point, was starting to form a pattern. For Bivo, he was making these stories up for one thing alone.
Doing it for the views. Views get to be paid. If you don't want to donate, just watch my videos and share the videos.
These two storylines alone revealed Bivo as somewhat of a faker, but it did not end there. Another seemingly minor story, which later fit this pattern, involved his teeth. In January 2024, he had them fixed in Turkey, finally replacing his fake teeth.
Look at that. You know the rules. Listen, Beavo, turkey teeth. What we saying?
Yet even after that, he continued not chewing in his videos and still acted like gulping was a huge struggle, like this video in February 2024.
Oh, they're nice. They're seasoned very well.
It was only months later that he shamelessly confirmed in an interview with TMG Studios that the no chew and exaggerated difficulty swallowing were once again just for drama.
While I was doing these food videos, people were catching on, hold on a minute, he's not eating right. So I'm going through the comments, and you got to play on the comments. You have to, if you're new to TikTok or you do TikTok.
Bivo was playing everybody like a fucking fiddle, dude. You read the comments, they're like, this dude eats crazy, and then you go. You just did it. Wait, did you mean to do that?
No,
Are you playing us? Bro, people are going to be so upset. They're like, Bivo, this is performance art.
All of these went to show that Bivo really was actively playing characters and hyping up storylines for views and, of course, money. Especially considering that the fundraiser for his teeth effectively became extra cash, since the procedure ultimately ended up being free, including travel expenses. However, despite these fake storylines, there was one development around this time that caught everyone's attention as it seemed genuine. After getting his teeth fixed in Turkey, Bivo began hanging out with Sophia Isabella, and the two appeared openly affectionate.
Dinner, you know the rules. I'm here with Sophia. Happy Valentine's Day. You know the rules.
At the time, Sophia was a rising British content creator known for her work on OF, which stunned viewers, especially given how unexpected it seemed that Bivo had landed her in the first place. Nevertheless, based on what Bivo showed on TikTok, they appeared to have a great relationship.
Dinner, you know the rules. This is where are we at, babe?
Menagerie.
Menagerie, Manchester, you know.
With Bivo even tattooing Sophia's name on his wrist, despite only dating for a few months.
I got Sophia's name tattooed on me yesterday. She loves it. I'm gonna flip the camera now. Yeah, she's a lucky lady.
But just like the storylines he had chased for views before, his relationship with Sophia would soon head in that exact same direction. On May 22, 2024, Bivo and Sophia appeared on the Whatever podcast and dropped what many saw as a bombshell.
In an open relationship.
Oh, you guys are in an open relationship. Okay, open. Alright.
No one would have guessed they were in an open relationship, but as Bivo explained their setup, he framed it in a way that made it, quote, make sense, especially since Sophia was working on OF.
Wait, so you participate in her OnlyFans?
Yes.
Do you get compensated?
She looks after me, yeah.
So you're the breadwinner?
Yeah.
I make bread. I still do well on TikTok.
No, yeah,
I still make money.
You've got your own.
I still make money. I'm not just a broke bitch. I'm not her slave. Do you know what I mean?
For Bivo, the open relationship meant Sophia could sleep with other men, but strictly for content, and that it was acceptable because it was part of her job. Viewers, however, did not see it that way, with many who even pitied Bivo. This dude must be delusional if he really thinks that blonde girl actually loves him and not for his clout. It's such a red flag to be already referring to your girlfriend boyfriend of 3 months as your future wife, especially when she's completely emotionless towards him and his sentiments, being taken for a ride literally. In fact, throughout the whole podcast, while Bivo was being grilled and called a cuck or a weak man who was dominated by their female partner, Sophia barely reacted, never really defending him or showing much affection.
You let other men stick their junk in your chick's mouth and then you kiss her the next day, bro, in front of you. Listen, the objectively valuable thing, which is right next to you, is your woman. That is the most objectively valuable thing you'll ever have, and you sell her to other men.
Do I sell you?
For money.
No. She enjoys it, I enjoy it, why not?
And as the internet exploded over this, Beavo went back on TikTok just days later and claimed the whole podcast situation was just a scripted storyline.
I was basically told what to say, basically for their financial gain, which has made me look a complete mug on the internet now. Brian comes up to me and says, look, we need to spice some things up. Basically say that you two are in an open relationship, and basically she sees other guys and you see other girls. Me and Sophia are in a closed, healthy, happy relationship. No one else is involved.
By this point, no one really knew what was real anymore, the podcast or the it was just a story explanation afterward. Real talk, there's no way they told you to say that, you just lost your head, lad. Then, a month after the podcast, Beavo introduced yet another storyline.
My relationship is rocky now because I'm not earning money, putting pressure on her.
Claiming to be broke at the time when his videos had consistently been pulling hundreds of thousands of views was strange to many. Given that it sounded like another scripted story, most people did not believe him. Look at his views from last month. Compared to since yesterday, his views have now rocketed. He knows what he is doing. Bro not broke, marketing genius. Still, some people did believe him, as in his next video, he thanked those who had helped him out with donations.
Hi, this is TikTok, Bivo here. I just want to say thank you for everyone for the gifts, the donations. I've had some money.
But in that same video, as if the broke storyline wasn't enough, he added another twist, this time about Sophia.
Sophia's gone on a mad one. I don't know where she's gone. She didn't come home. I don't know if she's embarrassed with me or don't want to be associated with me anymore. I know her girl mates didn't like me.
He continued pushing the Sophia leaving him narrative in multiple posts after this, only for things to later appear completely fine between them.
Babe, what are you fucking doing? Look. What are you doing? She's cooking burgers, yeah?
Nevertheless, whether real or not, the Sophia story achieved what Beavo seemed to want all along. Views of more than 1 million each, and in turn, earnings from TikTok, though everything unfortunately led to their falling out, or so everyone thought. In October 2024, Beavo uploaded a video showing the messy apartment Sophia had left behind.
Guys, I don't know what to do. Me and Sophia have had an argument, and I've been away for 2 days, and she's gone.
There was no response from Sophia after this, and it seemed they had separated for good. However, they apparently continued posting videos together well into August 2025, confusing viewers if they had really broken up in the first place. Around the same time, Sophia also appeared in a video with HS Tiki Talkie, a British TikToker known for fitness and dating content, where she accused Beavo of doing heinous things to her.
Say this, I swear on my mother's life that Beavo has me.
I swear that he's put it in me while I've not consensually said yes and I've been fast asleep.
The contrast didn't sit right with many viewers. Hasn't she accused him of rape? I actually do not believe her. I'm just not sensing the truth. Ultimately, no one could say for sure what really happened. But by that point, Beavo was already notorious for hyping stories purely for views. All while this was happening, with his relationship with Sophia seemingly on and off, Beavo steered his content and career in a direction no one saw coming. In January 2025, Beavo teamed up with Bonnie Blue, an adult content creator who, at the time, claimed to have slept with 1,057 men in just 12 hours. Beavo and Bonnie's first public interaction was a casual Nando's date.
Breakfast.
With Bonnie, you know the rules. What we got this morning?
I have got a chicken panini with some salad, but I'm not eating the salad.
But behind the scenes, the two had already hooked up, later releasing the footage on OF, which also ended up on Beavo's Cornhub account and racked up 2.3 million views. Yes, Beavo had officially entered Corn, complete with a verified profile. After that hookup, Bonnie uploaded a now deleted TikTok telling her followers, "So you've all probably seen Beavo in my queue most recently. I'm gonna rate him a good 7 out of 10. Meanwhile, Beavo responded by flexing how much he earned from the collab, which viewers quickly laughed off as a measly £150. But it wasn't showing off his earnings that really set people off. What shocked fans more was the fact that Beavo had taken such an unexpected turn, and all of this with Bonnie Blue. In a sense, this only confirmed that he was in an open relationship with Sophia, as he slept with Bonnie while still claiming to be committed to her, validating the plot he described on the Whatever podcast. And when that still wasn't enough provocation for more clout, Beavo posted a fake gay bed photo with Luke Bennett and Simple Simon, fellow British TikTok creators, which clearly looked like another one of Beavo's ploys to trigger backlash and engagement. And it's safe to say that it worked. The Beavo saga has been one hell of a journey. It's one thing to be a corn star who also does gay corn. It's a whole other thing to be a TikTok star and then pivot to gay corn to keep the money rolling in. This whole thing is wild. By this point, Beavo had made it clear that he was willing to do almost anything for views and money.
The collab, it was rage bait, like all my other shit is rage bait. And I was literally with him 10 minutes, got a reel, got a picture, and then he went, and I made 12k that week.
And just when it seemed like this was as far as Beavo would go, it shockingly wasn't. By November 2025, Beavo announced that his mom, Rita, had lost her 9-to-5 job and that he was, quote, prepping her for something new, something spicy.
Guys, the day has come. I took my mum out and pampering her up for you know what. Yeah, I'm gonna link her TikTok down below. We're gonna get her running, up and going. Spicy soon. See you soon. Cheers.
And given that the TikTok video wasn't enough of an introduction, Beavo took to Instagram to justify the move. People might think it's crazy putting my mom on spicy, but doing what I need to secure her future is the right move, and I stand by it. Beavo stayed publicly supportive of the whole process, posting updates like this one after a week of his mom working.
Right, I took my mum out to Lakeside. How's it feel being a rich bitch?
Wonderful.
You made a lot of money this week, didn't you?
And he even used his own platform to promote her further. So far, Beavo's mom has around 90 posts on her OF, with many of the videos previewed as snippets on Instagram.
Hey Rita, do you think I should turn the heating down?
No, sorry, just get in here and take your kit off.
Really? Oh yeah.
Now, what disturbed viewers was not just Beavo supporting his mom, but the level of how involved he seemed, appearing to enjoy spending time with her and Simple Simon, the man that she was filming with, and the same man with whom Beavo had posed for a staged gay photo with Luke Bennett months earlier.
Oh Rita, oh yes. Just lay back for me.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
He even posed for selfies with Simon and reportedly called him daddy on stream, saying, "F self-respect, I've got bags in the bank." With that level of involvement, some viewers began to suspect Beavo wasn't just appearing alongside them, but might have been filming as well.
Love you, Dad.
Viewers were quick to point out that Beavo's voice could be heard near the end. Across the internet, people struggled to comprehend how far he had taken things, literally pimping your mom out. This is extremely strange. I think your family needs psychological help. And it wasn't just the internet reacting. The situation became so bizarre that Beavo's own sister, Minnie, publicly disowned both him and their mother.
Yeah, you've been disowned, and so is that woman that's decided to do that. It doesn't just affect. Oh, stop!
What?
You can't go on OnlyFans.
Of course she can. She wants to make a bit of money, Minnie. What's the matter with that?
By this point, it was clear Beavo was obsessed with the money more than anything else.
My mum's smashed it on OF though. Fed up 4 bags, not 2 days. Easy money.
However, Beavo eventually got bummed that the money wasn't as consistent as he had hoped after putting his mom on OF, which really boils down to Beavo just being desperate to diversify his income, even if that meant exploiting his own family. After the entire fiasco, he uploaded a TikTok video doubling down on his stand, claiming the entire thing was just a character for views and money.
But Beavo is a character. Beavo gets views and Beavo pays my wage. I am Brandon. This is me. I'm a normal guy, and which people I get annoyed because I get judged so quickly.
Yet for many viewers, this doubling down given the context did not make sense. They wanted to believe Bivo is all but a character, but the fact that he actually put his own mom on OF spoke louder than anything he had said. Still, despite all the controversy and fakery, he didn't lose a massive portion of his audience. His TikTok following remained largely intact through growth appeared to stagnate rather than rise. Now, in 2026, having reached the peak of his controversy, with the hype around his mom and his OF account fading, and nothing significant following his encounter with Bonnie, Beavo is scrambling for ways to stay relevant on TikTok. He returned to the dinner videos, the content style that originally made him famous, and even claimed he would post one dinner video every day until the end of the year. At this point though, the gimmick felt worn out. The exaggerated gulping and the over-the-top reactions, once seen as new and unique, no longer hit the same way.
Day 24, I'm eating a roast potato every day in 2026. Cheers. Went down the right hole today. See you tomorrow. Big up to yourselves. Cheers.
Yet just a month into the challenge, he stopped posting consistently, only recently resurfacing with the dinner collaboration featuring Adapt, the former director of FaZe Clan. He did this seemingly hoping the crossover would boost his numbers, but instead, the videos struggled to reach even 200,000 views. Even Adapt isn't getting you likes and he gets a lot. Compared to his peak, when millions of views per video were the norm, the new uploads felt repetitive and lacked the viral spark that once defined his page, as even those headline-grabbing moments eventually burned out. However, one storyline from his controversial arcs carried into 2026, finally reaching what seemed like an honest closure for now, when his relationship with Sophia came to an end.
She's really bad when she's drunk. She's really bad when she's on you know what, and mentally I can't deal with it. So good luck, girl. I hope someone can put up with it. I hope you do find someone that loves you for you.
After she apparently cheated on him.
I hope them two TikToky beggy boys were worth it. If you've got the bollocks, the two boys to actually DM me, that'd be quite funny to see.
Meanwhile on Instagram, Bivo continued posting almost daily, often sharing clips from his podcast streams on Kick. However, even with clickbait style titles, including dramatic health related teases, engagement remained low, with his "Does Bivo have cancer" post receiving fewer than 60 likes. The only time his recent posts gained noticeable traction was when drama resurfaced.
What?
A lot of talk on the internet, weren't there? About look.
Bro, get the fuck. Why are you starting, bro? Why are you starting, bro? No, don't. Why?
Calling my mum a slut and saying I live on benefits.
When have I done
You're sat
that?
behind the screen.
Why are you starting, bro? Get the fuck out, bro. Get out.
No one knows whether that was staged or not, but it seemed authentic, and that controversy briefly brought back the kind of engagement he had been chasing, but only in that one video. So now, Bivo is clearly facing a larger issue. Without shock value or controversy, he struggles to generate organic reach. And without spectacle and outrage, attention is no longer guaranteed. Once celebrated by a massive fanbase, Bivo now finds that trust has evaporated. Used to like you, but selling your mom is just crazy. It's not right. You have become beyond a joke. Even though TikTok still lists him with 1.4 million followers, few are actually tuning in anymore, and his online career is effectively over. If you like this video, you'll probably enjoy these next ones as well, and don't forget to subscribe.